Welcome to Colonize the Ocean podcast, where we discuss oceanic colonization, exploration, and education with your hosts Adam Jewell and Brendan Traxler.
Okay, just think for a second about that world under the sea. You know, the silent world. It's fascinated us forever, really. Stories of lost cities, amazing real voyages. We've always wanted to know what's down there.
Absolutely.
But what if we could stay down there, like live and work beneath the waves for a long time?
And that's exactly the question, isn't it? That's what we're diving into today. We're looking at the history of subsea human habitats.
Right.
These incredible structures that let us go beyond just, quick visits to really think about having an underwater presence.
And guiding us through this is a really great article from InDEPTH. It's called A Visual History of Subsea Habitats, written by Phil Short. He's with Deep Research Labs.
Yes, it's a fantastic piece. It gives a brilliant timeline, sort of an overview of all the different ways humans have tried to live underwater over the years, the designs, the concepts.
So our mission here is to pull out the really cool milestones, the big ideas from this history.
Exactly. Understand the ambition behind it all.
Yeah.
Because it's not just, hey, let's live underwater. It's about access. Access to the ocean, which, the article points out is just fundamental to the planet's health.
Okay, so let's unpack this. The article kicks off reminding us this isn't some new idea.
Not at all.
It mentions Alexander the Great supposedly going down in a diving bell way back when.
Yeah.
That really puts it in perspective, doesn't it? This urge goes way, way back.
It does. That story, true or not, it shows this long-held human curiosity. And what's really interesting is how the article compares it to space exploration. Comparing these underwater habitats to the, 11 space stations we've built. It's that same drive,
Yeah.
Establishing a base in an environment that's completely alien to us. An off-world place.
Totally. Instead of looking up, we're looking down into, what does the article call it? Inner space.
Inner space, yeah.
Yeah.
Our own planet's frontier.
Love that.
And before we get into the timeline, the specific projects, the article helps by outlining the different types of habitats people have built. It's good to understand the categories.
Right, because it's not just one kind of thing. So 4 main types mentioned. First up, floating habitats. Sounds more like viewing rooms.
Pretty much. More for observation, connected to something on the surface. Not really for long-term living in them.
Okay. Then number 2, habitats with an access shaft straight to the surface.
Right. Think of the underwater observatory in Islat. These are depth limited because they keep normal air pressure inside.
So you can just walk in and out, basically. No pressure issues.
Exactly. No special procedures needed. Makes sense for shallower applications.
Then the 3rd type, the most common one apparently, semi-autonomous habitats.
Yes. These rely on an umbilical cord, essentially.
Okay.
A cable running to the surface providing power, breathing gas, stuff like that. Aquarius, Sealab, any two. Those are key examples.
And getting in and out. Diving or something called transfer under pressure to UP.
That's it. That umbilical is key. But access involves diving or that TUP system. And then the last type.
Autonomous habitats, the really sci-fi sounding ones.
Kind of, yeah. Self-contained, carrying their own power, their own air. Conshelf III was a major one like this. Some could even move up and down.
Wow. Imagine the engineering for that. Fully self-sufficient underwater.
Huge challenge. Yeah. Okay, so we've got the types. Let's get into the history. The article pinpoints 1962, the link chamber.
Robert Stenuit, 24 hours at 61 meters or 200 feet.
A huge first step. Named after Ed Link, who, fun fact, invented the flight simulator.
No way.
Yeah. Stenuit's day made him the world's first official aquanaut.
Aquanaut. Love it. So someone who spends 24 hours or more living underwater at pressure.
Right. Experiencing the physiological changes. It proved, longer stays at real depth are actually possible.
Then Jacques Cousteau enters the picture. Conshelf projects.
Conshelf I, also 62. Shallow, only 10 meters, 33 feet. 2 guys, oceanauts. Making dives every day.
Sounds like testing the waters, literally.
It's exactly a proof concept. Cousteau, of course, brought massive public awareness. Diogenes, they called it, showed a small team could live and work down there for a week.
And just a year later, 63, Conshelf Somking, the Starfish House. That one's famous.
Very. And the separate deep cabin, they really upped the game. 30 days at 11 meters for 5 people.
30 days.
And another team spent a week deeper at 30 meters. So longer times, greater depths, multiple habitats at once, real progress.
Okay, 1964, the U.S. Navy jumps in with Sealab done.
Yep, down at nearly 60 meters, 194 feet, 4 divers.
And Stenuit's back with Man in the Sea, too.
He is. Deployed much deeper this time, 126 meters, that's 413 feet. And get this, with John Lindbergh.
Charles Lindbergh's son, the aviator.
The very same.
Yeah.
Spent 49 hours down there using that link chamber tech again. Just incredible linking those exploration legacies.
Wow. Okay, the pace is picking up. 1965, Conshelf III, deeper again, 100 meters, 330 feet.
And for 22 days, 6 oceanauts. And this is where it gets really interesting. They worked on a mock oil rig.
So starting to think about practical applications, like underwater industry.
Precisely. Conshelf III was designed to be pretty much self-sufficient. It showed humans could do complex work deep down for extended periods without constant surface help. That oil rig simulation was definitely looking towards the future of resources.
But then, same year, 65, something totally different. Glaucus.
Yeah, tiny little thing. Autonomous, no surface connection, only 11 liters deep, used by recreational divers.
What a contrast from a complex, deep industrial testbed to a small recreational unit.
It shows the sheer variety of ideas being tried out. Glaucus proved simpler. Self-contained habitats had uses too, maybe for decompression stops, short research days, that sort of thing.
Okay, back to the big scale. Sealab 2 a second, also 65. This sounds massive.
It was. 3 teams, 10 divers each. Missions lasted 15 days.
And Scott Carpenter, the astronaut, was one of them.
Not just one of them. He spent a full 30 days down there. An astronaut becoming an aquanaut.
That's amazing. And the story about the phone call.
Oh, yeah. He apparently had a radio link with the Gemini V space capsule orbiting Earth.
No way.
And President Johnson called him in the habitat. You can imagine the helium voice conversation.
Huh. That's brilliant. It really connects inner and outer space exploration.
It really captures the spirit of the time, doesn't it? That excitement. Sealab II gathered so much data on long-term living under pressure. Carpenter was the perfect symbol for it.
Okay, fast forward a bit to 69. Tektite 1.
Right. 58-day mission. That was a saturation diving record back then.
58 days, nearly 2 months, and then 19 hours of decompression.
The 19 hours just to safely get back to surface pressure.
Yeah. It really highlights the physiological side that demands on the human body. Saturation diving is serious business. Your tissues get fully loaded with inert gas.
Wow. And Tektite 2, also significant.
Hugely. It ran 10 different missions, but the standout was the first all-female aquanaut team.
Led by Dr. Sylvia Earle, the legend.
The very same. A massive step showing women were absolutely central to this field. Dr. Earle's leadership there was groundbreaking. She pops up again with Hydrolab, right? Ran from 66 to 84.
She did. Hydrolab was a real workhorse. 180 missions completed.
180.
Yeah, usually at depths between about 12 and 18 meters, so 40 to 60 feet, typically 4-person crews. It became a vital platform for marine science. Dr. Earle used it numerous times.
His longevity speaks volumes, but then the article mentions Sealab III in 1969, not 98, sorry.
A tragedy.
Yes, 1969, a very difficult chapter. During deployment preparations to 186 meters, almost 610 feet, there was a catastrophic leak. Aquanaut Barry Cannon tragically died.
Oh, no.
It led to the entire program being shut down. A huge setback and a terrible reminder of the extreme risks involved. Operating complex tech in that environment, the margin for error is tiny.
Of a very sobering moment in the timeline. Okay, moving to something a bit more whimsical, maybe. La Chalupa, 71 to 74.
Yes. This one had a happier afterlife.
It's now Jules Verne's undersea lodge. You can stay in it. You can, in Florida. It was deployed operationally between 15 and 30 meters back in the day. Now it's this unique underwater hotel. A fantastic way to connect people to this history, right?
Absolutely brilliant. Okay, bringing us closer to the present, Aquarius Reef Base.
Still going strong. Located off Florida at about 19 meters, 62 feet.
And NASA uses it for astronaut training.
They do. The NEMO missions, NASA Extreme Environment Mission Operations, they use Aquarius to simulate aspects of space missions. Isolation, teamwork under pressure, complex procedures. It's a surprisingly good analog.
That parallel is just fascinating. And Fabien Cousteau used Aquarius, too.
He did. Jacques Cousteau's grandson. In 2014, he led Mission 31.
31 days.
31 days in Aquarius, partly to honor the 50th anniversary of his grandfather's Conshelf II, but also doing serious coral reef research over a full lunar cycle.
Keeping the family legacy alive. And he's planning something even bigger, right? Proteus.
That's the vision. He talks about it as a sort of underwater international space station, a large, permanent, advanced research facility. Hugely ambitious.
Wow. Okay, nearly up to date. 2015, Fourth Elements, SASH.
A smaller special application habitat. SASH stands for Sentinel Audit Subsea Habitat, down at about 7.6 meters, 25 feet. Part of a dive training setup, I believe.
So innovation is still happening on different scales, not just the mega projects.
Exactly. Shows there are diverse needs, niche applications still emerging.
And that brings us right up to DEEP's plans. The organization the article's author, Phil Short, is involved with.
Right, Deep Research Labs. They're developing Vanguard and Sentinel.
Vanguard, 3 people, down to 100 meters. Sentinel, 6 people, 200 meters, or about 720 feet.
And the goal is extended missions on the continental shelf. But the really key thing, they're aiming to be the first classed subsea habitat.
Classed meaning?
Meaning they'd meet recognized engineering and safety standards, like ships or planes do, verified by classification societies.
Ah, okay. That sounds like a big deal for, like, normalization, acceptance.
It could be a total game changer. Standardized certified habitats could open the door to much wider use, longer missions, maybe even commercial operations, based on established safety protocols, really unlocking the potential of the continental shelves.
So when you look back at this whole story,
Sure.
It's pretty incredible.
Isn't it? From Alexander's maybe mythical bell dive to these classed deepwater labs being planned now.
That drive, that human need to explore, maybe even to live in new places,
Yeah,
it's undeniable.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And these habitats, they aren't just stunts. They're essential tools for understanding the ocean, for research, for conservation, for accessing this huge part of our planet we still know so little about.
It really does make you think, after all this progress, all the challenges they overcame, what's next? What other frontiers are waiting in that underwater world? What discoveries are still down there in inner space?
You wonder what the next 50 years will bring, don't you? If Proteus happens, if Deep's habitats become common. What does underwater work and life look like then?
Feels like we've only scratched the surface. Or maybe plumbed the shallows.
Something like that. Plenty more depth to explore.